live. Welcome to Life Action Roleplay with
Cynthia Marie
and Ryan Omega. I go by the pronouns he, him.
Oh, right. I always mess this up. I go by she, her.
And Kai has stepped back for today. We love you, Kai. And I wanted to introduce all of our guests. Let's start with Krystina. Hello. How do people know you? And what are your pronouns?
Hi, my name is Krystina Arielle, she, her, and my pronouns. You may know me from such television internet favorites as Siren Show, along with Miss Cynthia Marie, formerly produced by Mr. Ryan Omega. That's a whole thing. It's exciting. I love it, and that's how I know them both. And also as Vera Posset from Honey Heist. And I also am I'm a Riza on a lot of things across the DnD universe, cinematic universe, whatever. And I also play Delilah on Denver by Night. There's a whole lot of stuff I could say, but I'll say I'm the D&D Beyond Bard of Superior Inspiration and leave on that flex.
Nice. Next, let's go to Jordan. Hello, Jordan. How will people know you?
Hi, I am Jordan Raskopoulos. My pronouns are she, her. You may know me as the lead singer of the comedy band, The Axis of Awesome. I'm also a streamer here on Twitch, and I've been on television in Australia quite a bit. But I suppose none of y'all will know about that.
And next, we go to Sharang.
So my name is Sharang Biswas. I'm a game designer, writer, and artist in New York City. I make a lot of indie weird games, which you may or may not know, so I'm not going to name them because I'll just be embarrassing if you don't know any of them. But I met all these fine folks on the latest D&D Live project.
All right, thank you. And as per tradition, what is everyone drinking today?
All right, so I actually brought the bottle on because it is such a lovely drink. It is a Spanish rosé, which is kind of ironic because I'm Spanish and I play a rose on shows, but it is that. It is called El Terreno. Yeah, it's from Spain. It's really good. It's really light, and I love rosé wine. So boom.
All right, Krystina, what are you drinking?
I am drinking a Brut rosé, which fun story. Sin sent me a bottle and said, "Have a rosé-er day."
That's like my one pun for the year. You're welcome.
Sharang, what are you drinking?
So I am glugging port, which one doesn't normally do with port, but I am. That's a lot of port, and this is not even all of it. I've finished some of it, right? And it's Quinta de Infantado Ruby medium dry port. Either my partner brought it for me from Spain and Portugal, or someone brought it over my New Year's Eve party and I hadn't opened it yet, but I'm like, it's COVID. Open all the alcohol.
Jordan, what are you drinking?
Yeah, well, it's 1:00 in the afternoon here in Sydney, so I'm not really drinking alcohol at the moment. But I am drinking Crisco 100% vegetable oil at the moment. So. Num num num.
Why?
Why? It's got all my vitamins in it. Me all slippery inside.
I so want to make a joke about being slippery inside, but I will not.
Well, you did just make that joke. It's important to make sure your system is well lubricated. And speaking of lubrication, mine takes the form of Takara plum wine mixed with cucumber pear fizzy water, so that I now have this fizzy plum pear cucumber pear drink, and it's actually pretty delicious. All right, now that we all proved that we are luscious, shout outs. Do you have any shout outs for people today? Let's start off with Jordan this time.
Oh, can I shout out myself?
Yes.
Yeah, sick. So I stream here on Twitch. Follow me on Twitch. But also, I started a business recently selling dinosaur-themed Pride merch. So you can go to prideosaurs.com. And there's a dinosaur for every rainbow identity. There's the Tyrannosaurus, there's the Biceratops, there's a Stegosaurus, there's a non-Binosaurus, a Lesiosaur, and a Pankylosaurus. I love dinosaurs and I love being queer, so get into it.
Jordan, where can we find these?
pridosaurs.com. So PRIDO and then saws like the dinosaurs.
And is there anything that is bright pink?
Yeah, well, I mean, all of the dinosaurs are fashioned in the pride colors, the flags of each identity. So the Pankylosaurus has got the bright pink, and the Tyrannosaurus has got pink on it. Pankylosaurus has got the bright pink, and the Tyrannosaurus has got pink.
Sharang, any shout outs?
Yeah, so I'm gonna do one step away from Jordan. I'm gonna include myself in the shout out, but it's not just about me. Today, a couple of queer game designers and myself, that includes Lucian Khan, Cleo Davis, and Anna Anthropy, released a bundle of queer themed games, 3 of which are brand new. They debuted today on itch.io, and we are donating 20% of our proceeds to Trans Needles, which is a organization that gives HRT supplies to trans folk who might not be able to afford to get them themselves, especially in the US, where new laws just happened about that. So check that out. It's called Needles in a Gay Stack. Is the name of the bundle. Check it out. There are 10 games in the bundle, and it is a discounted bundle. And again, 20% is going towards trans healthcare. So check that out. I have a game. My new game in there is called Several Miles from Heaven, which you play by stripping in front of someone else. It is a game about horny teenage demigods, and you can play it over Zoom.
Krystina, any shout outs?
Yes, I do. And it is for my cousin, Doris Mantley, who I'm exceptionally proud of. She has an organization called Skate for Justice, and they do peaceful protests in the name of Black Lives Matter. And it is as skaters of all colors come together to peacefully protest by riding through LA. Their next event's going to be in Oakland. And it's just really cool to see this 19-year-old kid get out there and use her voice and organize. And I'm really freaking proud. And I just hope that they keep doing that, and I'm going to promote them till the wheels fall off. But I hope they don't.
Sin.
Oh man, I have 3 shout outs or 2 shout outs. Sure. Okay, cool. First shout out is actually going to be to my people on Twitter who actually donated me to help with the protest back a couple of weeks. They were incredible. We raised about $800 to create med packs for the protesters. So thank you. It was really awesome to be interacting with you guys. Secondly, this one's a little bit more silly, but and serious at the same time. I'm just really proud of the community in general. But maybe a few weeks ago, and I know that's been going on, people have been putting out there that Splash Mountain needs to be changed. And I am so proud of the Disney Imagineers for finally listening and changing Splash Mountain. So they're going to be doing an overlay for Tiana, which I've been saying for eons that they need to be doing. But it's finally happening. I'm so freaking excited. I never liked the ride Splash Mountain. I'm about to get on that stuff again because of this overlay. So I'm so excited to see what they do with this. So thank you, Disney Imagineers, for freaking listening to us Disney freaks about changing this ride. So thank you.
All right. My shout outs. One very quick shout out to Greg Tito for bringing us all together, but also today's his birthday. So happy birthday, Greg. Greg is the guy that thought of DnD Live and by extension brought the game designers together so that we could come up with the reality RP. My shout out is to my friends Jordan and Christine Hasse, along with Patrick and Terrence Stenberg for creating medical kits for protesters during those protests.
That's what I was to do the money for.
Yes. And so just wanted to reiterate that shout out because it also goes to show that I know that everyone is not always in a position to donate money, but they can donate supplies, they can donate time, resources, and if you have a little bit of ingenuity, you can help other people stay safe and also be heard. And then before we go into our topic, I want to thank our Patreon supporters. During this time, your support is more important than ever. So thank you. And let's get into it. This thing called Reality RP. I guess Sharang, how would you describe this? Because you're one of the designers. How would
Yeah,
you describe
with
this?
you. I called it a multimedia live action storytelling experience with social media integration and the reality show leanings about the new referencing the fall D&D storyline.
And let's go to our performers. What did you all play? And describe your character and anything you want to tell the audience about your character. Let's start with Jordan.
I played a dwarven soothsayer called Hethel Arkaran, who was lawful evil. And I was a grub. I was a grotty, horrible little witch person, and I very much enjoyed that character. I love playing grotesque characters. I'm trained in commedia dell'arte, and so it was nice to kind of put on a grotesque mask and play that character.
Krystina.
I played Olives Unterpour, and she was a lady from Good Mead, and her family owned the distillery that made Good Mead in the town of Good Mead, where the mead's so good we named our town. But I also was later revealed to be Talaxnor, and I was the cultist.
Sin, who did you play?
I played Cora Malfoon, who was the innkeeper of Bremen. I loved her so much. She was a sweet bean, totally innocent in all of this situation, but was murdered by the cultists. Murdered in cold blood. But it was a great time. Yeah, you know, Krystina, we're gonna talk about this in a minute. But yes, that's who I played.
Sin, you gotta let it go. No.
Too soon, Ryan. I can't sing that song yet.
So I'm just trying to figure out, so where do we want to start here? I would say, let's start off with, what was your favorite part about Reality RP? And let's start with Krystina this time.
I think my favorite part was just playing with so many incredible performers. Like, everybody was awesome, and it was one of those things where you're just like fangirling over your friends. Like, that's where I was, and I was just like, I don't know, like, I was in love with all the characters by the end of it. Like, I wanted, like, these were my friends in real life. It was like this 3-day like bonding experience between like Instagram and the live streams and just like the chat of just kind of, it was the closest I was gonna get to that feeling you get at D&D Live, where it's like summer camp and everybody's just like bonding together and nerding out. But we were like, everybody was in their characters, like they were their characters. It was amazing. It was like it was a LARP.
Yes. Jordan, did you just also drink from that vegetable oil?
Yeah, that's what I was. We announced our drinks beforehand. It shouldn't have been a surprise.
Okay, yeah. All right. What was your favorite part of the weekend?
I know this is going to sound really corny, but I just love meeting new people and making new friends. It was really nice to kind of be brought into a new community and do something I love in a different way. Like I love role playing and I love playing D&D. So yeah, it was. To be honest, it was nice to perform with people I haven't performed with before. It's a treat.
Sharang.
So I one thing I was on the design team, right? So I really enjoyed designing the thing. I was in charge of our colleague Mink Minkette on Twitter she wrote up the mystery backstory, and then we all added to it to refine it. Then one of my tasks in the team was to write out each player's backstory using that. And that was really fun. I got to write a lot of prophecies for Jordan, for example. That was really fun. I got to write this for Krystina. I'm like, oh, this is you, but actually this is really you. That was really fun. So it was actually really fun, going through, because it was actually challenging. You had to go through the plot that Mink had written. You had to go through the book because we all had access to the book early. Fun fact, all of us have read the fall book. But we had access, so we were looking at that and weaving together this cohesive plot line. That was really fun. And I would say the second thing was also watching the Instagrams of all these performers. They were really cool. They were really, really, really cool. They were hilarious and full of clues that you might not have watched, how Olivessa didn't actually sing very well. So that was actually a real clue. A lot of people were like, is that a clue or not? So Instagram and writing the stuff.
Sin.
Oh man, where to begin? I think, along the lines of what Krystina said, just geeking out on my friends and seeing how awesome all of my friends are, and just being able to say those are my friends, they are so awesome. And along the lines with Jordan too, this is the first time I met Jordan, and oh my God, Jordan, you blew my mind with all of your videos. So just wow. I think my other favorite part though was the simple fact, and this is really weird to say, the simple fact that I got to show people that the dance background that I have. I've been a dancer all my life. Everybody's probably heard about this on the show, but a lot of people in the last 2.5 years have not known that I am a trained and professional dancer. So to have put together the barred video of all the stuff that I know how to do just on a whim was probably one of my pride of joys and favorite moments of doing the videos. I didn't realize that I could still do point. Yes, I put my point shoes on. I was just like, woohoo! I can go up on there. But so yeah, I think that was probably my and eating wasabi, just if anybody was watching, I actually did eat wasabi 6 times. Yeah, so I just creating the videos was so much fun, and just watching what everybody was up to was fun. Getting on the live chats with people, even though some of people were forcing people to say that they got their back, but the live chats were also fun because you got to interact with the person in real time.
Let's see. My favorite part was actually directing the videos one-on-one with a lot of our performers and watching all those characters develop in front of me. And then by the time it went out, it's like, oh my God, this is so cool. I am fans of all of the people that I ended up casting because I want cool people to play these roles. But what just astounded me was how good everybody is, how sheerly talented everyone was. If you look at the Instagrams right now, and they're still up under various reality RP dot and then the character name. If you haven't seen it, just take a watch of what they did for the trials, the creative things. Jordan's song for Absolution. I think I'm assuming that I was correct that it came from Perfect Strangers, because I heard it. I'm like, wait, I know this song. And then Sin, your dancing was so good. The editing, I watched that thing 10 times in a row because the music, the editing, your dancing, and all the cuts were amazing. So if you get a chance, check it out. And also to Mark Meir, who was an amazing host. Perfect host.
And I want to say sometimes it wasn't even the scheduled challenges that were amazing. I remember Jordan's feeling cute, might delete later. These random, every character did a couple of random things, or banter with other characters. Those were so fun. They really helped develop the narrative and the story and the characters, because stories are about characters, and they were really amazing.
I think the interesting thing for me was because I'm in Australia, and a lot of the posts were going out when I was asleep. So I needed to kind of preempt what the day would be. And so some of those random ones were just well, I'm not going to be wrong doing something weird and random. I'm just going to be funny, which is good. But it also kind of really fit in with the character as well, being a fortune teller and a soothsayer, to kind of speak in half-truths and riddles and things that might be or might not be. And when you gave me the prophecies, they were perfect things. I enjoyed reading the prophecies so well, because it kind of it gave me something to think about what might be coming up or what might be happening with the other characters, to try and predict it so that I could actually make the content.
Can I just be real though, Jordan? The entire time I swore it was you. I swore it was you. The entire time I was like, how is she a soothsayer and she's not knowing what's going on?
I mean,
The future is clear but narrow.
Yeah, when we picked the characters, we really, as a team, tried to pick multiple evil characters for one, right? As well as characters who would you think is evil, or who do you not think is evil? And so obviously then you'll think she's evil because maybe they're hiding something. And I think we did a good job of that, Ryan, right? I think we picked some good NPCs.
And I think one of the things as well is, like, as the game was ending, it's like, I know my role as an improviser and a performer in this, and that's not to win the game, that's to make this an interesting experience for everybody involved, like the other players who are trying to work out which of us is the villain, and the people in chat who are trying to work out which is the villain. And so if I can dovetail with who the actual cultist is, we can make it ambiguous and make it a fun time.
So speaking of that, we do have a question in the chat. This is from Commander Sam 13. What do you start with in character creation? A family background, a voice, or something else?
Is this in general or in regards to reality RP? Did it have a frame of reference?
It did not have a frame of reference, but let's go with reality RPG since that is the topic of today.
So I might want to start with the writing side. Does that make sense then, Ryan?
Yeah, we can start with the writing side.
Yeah, so when we wrote the characters, all of the main performers, their characters, were based off of NPCs from the Fall book, because we wanted to give like a teaser for the Fall book, right? And to be true to the world. And most of them, however, have a very short description. They aren't as fleshed out as these performers made them. And we had to balance this idea of keeping the book information consistent, adding new stuff to make our mystery work, but also keeping it ambiguous enough for the talent of these performers to shine through, right? Because all these performers are very talented. They're all like good at streaming and improving and role playing. So that was interesting. And so once we had this mystery, Minkat had written like a lot of, each of the characters had a secret, right? So even Sin's character, Sin was very lovely and good and nice, but Sin's character had like a secret, right? That was, I think, our starting point. And then using that was where we tried to develop a personality more. I did a lot of personality building while Mink did a lot of the like story building. And I'd be like, okay, well, given this background from the book, given the secret that Mink has written that's been looked at by all of us and added to, what would their personality be like? So that was how I was working. But of course, I only gave small personality cues so that the performers here could add and make it their own and do like cool stuff.
Yeah, I know from the writing side, the difficult part for me was I wanted these particular characters to be canon from D&D for a couple of reasons. One of them is that I know in D&D Live, the performers, when they know that this character that they're playing is actually in the book, they play them with much more gusto rather than a random character. And now when I look at the source book, when it comes out, or Rhyme of the Frost Maiden, I'm going to know, oh my God, Sin played Cora, and oh my God, Krystina played Olivessa, and oh my God, Jordan played Hethel. So I wanted to make sure that all fit. But if you look at the source book, not every town had everything. So I had to create a matrix of this person will play this person, and who did I think could play particular characters. So certain casting decisions were based off of what did I know about the performer? And do they fit a little bit of the personalities described in the book, described in what Sharang and Minkat put out? And I kind of had to put together, but still leave it open enough for the performers to put their performances in it.
Krystina, how did you derive at coming to play your character? Was it a voice? Was it a song? Was it a family background? How did you feel creating your character?
I knew I was going to do the accent, because I'm from the South and I try to sneak in like a bougie Southern accent every now and again. But I really played it in mind knowing that I was the cultist. Like in my head, I was like, this voice has to stick and it has to be like consistent so that it actually is noticeable when I shift into like a different tone. And like, listen, I was living for that moment. I was living for that.
You were a shapeshifter, right? You were a cultist and a shapeshifter. So when you switched at the end to a different like tone and demeanor, that was like really cool.
Yeah, the cry into the laugh was my favorite part. It was like it was like so soap opera and sadistic, like Evil Twin in a Hospital episode of a soap opera, where it's like, it was not me, it was me, like very like super soapy and campy and reality television. And I've watched almost every incarnation of Real Housewives except for OC because that shit's boring and whack. But like, I know my Real Housewives, and to play into that was a dream.
So, Krystina, real quick follow up because you were already talking about the cultist. We have Hey Lynn's asking, Krystina, did you know you were the cultist from the beginning, or did you learn as you played?
It's like I was not, and then I was. And my dream, because every time I play like Betrayal at Baldur's Gate or any of those games, I'm never the bad guy. And I just really wanted to be the bad guy so bad. So when I first got cast, I was not cast as the cultist. And I was so disappointed. Like I was so disappointed. And then like Ryan was like, you're going to play all of us. And I was like, yes, it's amazing. I was so like, it was just one of those things where you're like, it's a fucking dream. Sorry, excuse my language. But
no, you're good.
It was extremely excited to just be like, ah!
Oh. Yeah. So Jordan, over to you. How did you derive your character of Hethel?
I feel like I've played characters like Hethel a lot before in improv and in theater and stuff. It's my jam. I love playing in the world of the grotesque and the kind of cabaret pseudo clown drag whatever nonsense that I do sometimes is definitely in that world. Like I you know, often drag revolves around notions of beauty, and I want to do the opposite. I want to go, well, what is the grossest thing that I could possibly be and do, and how disgusting can I be? So you know, I talk like this and make a lot of noises and a lot of big eyes and mouths and tongues, and so it was just I was just home. I just come home basically. Playing Hethel was just like coming home.
Right on. I guess I'm the last one to answer the question. So for me, when we got the character breakdowns, I was sitting on my couch right here, where I kind of like started piecing together. And I'll be honest with you, I was actually in a really like depressed moment while reading the character. So I got myself up out of my couch and I was like, all right, I'm gonna make this character feel real because I feel like shit right now. And honestly, the thing that really got me into it was the wig. I have a bucket of wigs of all colors, and I weeded through all of them, and the red wig was really the thing that kind of stuck with me, especially reading about Cora, where she's from a Dwarven city. I felt that the red hair was really that pulls together the whole Dwarven look, especially looking at all the illustrations of how Dwarvens were drawn. A lot of them are drawn with red hair. So I felt like red was kind of like the most accurate portrayal of somebody who would live in a Dwarven city. So then after that, I like honestly messaged Ryan. I was just like, I don't even know if I have costume for this, and I just started pulling out like all these costumes, and then I randomly like put the makeup on, like just because I was, like I said, I was feeling like crap that day. So I put the makeup on as a makeup test, which I'm really happy I did, because when it came down to actually shooting the stuff, like makeup was going super fast. And I have a comment about makeup later, but we'll get there. So I ended up calling Ryan with the wig and the makeup on, and just to kind of ask for his approval. And his reaction was hilarious. He was like, "Oh my god." So yeah, that I actually didn't derive from the voice or really, I mean, a little bit of the back, but it was mainly that wig. That wig is like what pulled it together for me.
Looks like we have another question. We have a question from the Valkyries DnD. Who was your favorite character besides your own? And also a comment. Also, thanks, Krystina, for liking my reality RP art and following me on Instagram. Wait, you're the one that made the reality RP art? There's this thing
So good.
that
There's art?
Yes.
yes. Oh,
I didn't know.
huh? Oh, let me
There's fan art of all the characters. Maybe Ryan can share it to everyone at the end of our stream. Yeah.
actually, let me see if I can pass that over to my technical director, Joe. Because like I saw that, I'm like, oh my God, who made this? Because I want to make sure that I credit them for this.
I mean, on that note, the participants who we saw on Discord and YouTube were very involved. Apart from guessing and voting, people were making fan art. People were making like newspapers. Someone wrote and made a newspaper summarizing each day's events. People were making like things that were compiling all the clues together. The participants were super involved. I was lurking on Discord a lot. It's actually really heartening and ego fulfilling to see the audience participants really liking and engaging with the stuff. For example, I wrote a Twine game. There were a couple of Twine games, but one of them was about this cute gay romance, and they were like tearing it apart trying to find a clue. They're like, oh my God, there was no clue. That was a red herring game. But like to see people engaged so much in the actors and asking questions about them and to them and to make all this art and stuff was really heartening.
So let's see. Let's start off with Sin. Who was your favorite character other than your own? You know, putting you on the spot right now.
Oh my God, I liked everybody's character. Shoot, can I just go through the list and just say like all the things that I really loved? Like, I'll do this real quick. I loved B Dave's video of I Want to Be Like You, his bard trial. It was phenomenal. Jordan, I loved the I Feel Cute Delete Later video. I think that was just freaking hilarious and just like so perfect. And actually all your prophecy videos, I was just like, what's going on? What is she saying? Krystina, I think my favorite thing about your character really was that reveal. Like, holy crap, that was terrifying, and like I was so mad that I didn't figure it out as fast as I wanted to. Sadly, Wes, we didn't really get to see a whole lot from him, but just his demeanor in general, I think he really played off Oris, which was really awesome. Working with Maud was incredible. She and I were on DMs, just kind of going back and forth of like, who do we think it is, like as players and as the character. So it was really interesting, especially when we started getting into like trying to clear my name of what was going on. So that was fun. Xander's videos were all incredible, especially when he was responding to everybody. So that got me really inspired to start responding to what people were doing. Gosh, who am I leaving? Satine. Jesus, Mary and Joseph. All of her interrogations were terrifying. Like when she called me out, I was like, oh no, what do I say? What am I gonna do? And of course, Mark Mir was just incredible as our host. So I really can't pick a favorite because everybody just brought their freaking A game. Oh, and Rockham's reveal of her bard costume, like where she like just did the transformation, was I really want to learn how to do that. So that was just sublime. Who am I missing? Anyone? Who else did I get? Everybody? I feel like I got everybody. I think. Oh no, Erica's character. Yeah, so Erica's character and I we're really kind of similar. So I tried to like not watch too much of her so that we weren't like hitting the same notes, if that makes sense. But she was so sweet, and I was really sad to see her be murdered. Dang it, Krystina!
Let's go to Jordan. Favorite character or characters?
I think other than my own, it's a hard bit if I can't include myself. I think Edgar Dermot from Dugan's Hole was probably my favorite. Just Rockham's commitment to emphasizing whole in Dugan's Hole so much. And all the innuendo, it was like a 70s British sitcom. It was fantastic.
So random trivia, part of the reason why she was cast as Edgar Dermot was because she did come from Dugan's Hole. That was the only reason why I cast her as Edgra, because I knew, okay, a drag queen is going to make fun of this. Let's go for it. Let's see if D&D complains.
Here we go. You set it up, they knock it down. Fantastic.
There's the two-pronged thing of hole and the fact that Dugan's Hole is known for all the like inbreeding. And Ryan was like, yeah, we need this drag queen for this.
Krystina.
It's so hard. It's kind of like picking who to kill. It's just a tough decision. There's just so many people that I could have killed, and I loved them all. Like, you guys were all great in your own
Why
way.
me?
So you were cleared, but you also, like, you said you had my back, but did you show that you had my back? Because I didn't feel that. So if I can't feel that, then you don't get to feel anything. But yeah, no, I really I was low-key obsessed with Hethel, I'm not even gonna lie. Like, I'm sorry about the last minute I was very limited in choices at that point because everyone was on the council and I couldn't murder council members. So it was like, you were a last-ditch option. And I didn't actually have to, like, eliminate you for real, because it came down to, like, a count. So we're so good. Me and you, good meat forever.
Speaking of that, I loved Jordan's constant advertisements of good meat.
Thank you.
That was ingenious.
Once again, that was a moment of because the stream was first thing in the morning for me. So I got out of bed, put on my horrible black lipstick and eyeliner, jumped on the stream, and then I think it was like, and Jordan, what questions do you have about today's events? And I was like, I'm sponsored by Good Meat.
I mean, it totally fits your character though, right? You have the like elderly dwarf who knows she's gonna die in a few months, who's like, I don't care about anything. I'm just gonna go out wild,
Was that ever revealed about Hethel?
It wasn't, because Hethel was voted out and died and went to the Nine Hells, as we heard her voice from the Nine Hells. But yeah, Hethel actually knows when she is going to die in the fiction. So she was a bit like, I don't really care what's happening. I just, let me just play and have fun and flirt with the cute boys, So
I don't know if you saw when I died, I took my cape up and I had little wings on. But I was only on screen for a little while before it went black and white to the screenshot. But I put little wings on, little bat wings.
I didn't see that.
I missed that. Before I forget, we actually now have the fan art loaded up, so we're going to show that to you right now, so you can see this. All 10 of these cute chibi versions, or anime versions rather, of our 10 town characters.
My character is legit crying. I was done.
I love it. I look so innocent.
Oh my
They're
god.
all so good.
I'm so short.
Provis was what got me. I loved it.
This is amazing.
just so you know, all artists love it when you like do things like this and admire them. So the performers, like, you drew us, the game designers, like, you drew our baby. So like, thank you so much.
This is so cool.
I am honored.
I need to print this out and hang this on my wall. I have a wall of things from various streams that people make fan art of, and yeah, this is definitely going onto that wall.
All right, let's talk about makeup right quick, because we were actually having this conversation earlier before we started recording. So, so Jordan, you talked about what your makeup process was a little bit, but so black makeup and black eyeliner, or was there more involved?
So there were some that I put some effort in and put some foundation on as well, but there are others just like, I'm horrible. And it was just black lipstick and then just eyeshadow on my fingers, rub it on my eyes. Sometimes I just wet my hair and let it hang in strands. I'm very pleased that I got to make myself more presentable for this, because I think you all might have had an image of me being quite a grot. I'm reasonably clean and quite attractive generally. So I'm glad I could set the record straight.
You look beautiful right now.
I know. Thank you.
Yes. Miss Krystina, what about your makeup process?
So I didn't wear any because I decided early on for the character that I didn't want to. So I was also in this kind of like, if I set this bar for this performance, it's going to last 3 days while I'm creating this character, and I put too much effort in, then I'm going to have to put in too much effort every day. And we're still in the middle of a pandemic. I'm still in mourning because my dad just died. We're also dealing with a civil rights movement. So forgive me if I didn't put my face on. I did tonight because self-care. But I think the reality of the thing was it was a very high emotional time. So I did what I could.
Sin.
My makeup process, good Lord. So I started off with like all the things. I had like the eyelashes, I had the eyebrows on, I had it all. By the third day, y'all, let's be real, I was real tired and just did the eyebrows. Because I was like, I can't do this right now. I made sure my skin was like nice and prepped, and it looked similar to all the other videos that I had released. But like, let's be honest, when I found out that I was gonna die, I was like, all right, I guess I'll just.
Hey, that makes sense. You've been trapped in a tower for 3 days. It totally makes sense.
Yeah,
I really admired Rockham committing to that look every day, and then on the third day apologizing for not doing the cut crease.
So that's commitment.
Yeah.
That's fair. That's part of Rockham's professional life, right? She's really good at putting makeup on, making clothes, putting them on before that. That's like, makeup is a big part of that. So I'm glad she like brought those skills forward. It's great.
Okay, I have a question for everybody, including you, Sharang, because I think this is an interesting question. If you were not playing the character you were playing, which other character would you have wanted played from the reality RP cast? Let's start off with Sharang, because you're a designer, so you actually have the opportunity to play any of them.
Yeah. Well, I remember during our rehearsals, I got to play Imdra because Imdra got to flirt with Oris, and that was really fun. Like, flirting is really fun for me in games. That was nice. I hesitate to say this, but I really like the Hethel character. Sort of like to play Hethel, but I hesitate that because like we had an amazing Hethel, so I'm like, oh, I wouldn't have done as good a job. But yeah, I would have liked playing Hethel. I think that would be really fun. And I probably wouldn't. I like playing evil characters in performances, not in role playing games. I hate playing role playing games, but I don't think I would have done all the Vessar a good job because I'm not a skilled enough actor to do the like change of persona. So what you like to do and what you can do well are not always the same.
Jordan.
I think I would have liked to play Oris. I know Oris was eliminated early, but I quite like orcs and half orcs generally in fantasy games and things like that. Have a very, very large 40k orc army. But I quite like the idea of kind of an orc or a half orc that is a gentle soul and kind of against the type and against the trope. And so I think I would have found a lot to play with in that character.
Krystina.
So I feel like the story was eventually going to be told at some point this evening, but it was like a weird story to tell with the person that actually played that character in the chat kind of situation. What up, Jordan? Okay, so I was originally Hethel, and I was really excited to play an old lady. Like, I was like very like had her like ticks. Like, me and Ryan did like 14 videos worth of Hethel. Can I please do the voice, because I was really excited about it, and I want to do the. Hello,
go for it.
My name is Hethel Akarin, and people call me Hethel Akarin because that's my name, and they call me that all the time.
Oh,
And
it's
I
beautiful.
wanted
It's
to do
very
that
Murder, She
evil
Wrote.
cackle. That evil cackle was like my as for Ryan, I was like that was my tick. It was gonna be a thing. I was super excited about it. Almost went into Olivessa, but like I know now, like I could never have played Hethel the way that Jordan did because she just murked it. It was amazing. And just like the nuances of the character that she put into it, I knew that was not something that I think by like I would have been tired by the third day. But you killed it.
Sin.
Oh man, I think I was between Imdra and Olivessa. Honestly, like I kept messaging Ryan and being like, "So, cultist, I would love to be the cultist. Just letting you know about the cultist. I would totally be the cultist. Like you understand that I'm really good at playing a cultist." So obviously that didn't happen. So it would have been a joy to have played it. But Imdra also was a big draw for me because I have a military background, so it would have been super easy. But what was really cool is the fact that like so a lot of people kind of pointed this out that Satine and I ended up picking the same wig. So a lot of people think that we look a lot alike. So people were trying to draw the connection of like our Imdra and Cora's sisters. And I was just like, oh god, here we go. So in a way I kind of had like a little bit with Imdra, you know.
For me, if I were to play any character, probably Garrett. I think when Xander and I were talking about the creation of Garrett, the funny part was Xander's description of Garrett was mask for mask. That was literally what he said. Like he's supposed to be super masculine gay guy. But that's kind of how he was. He wasn't written to be super masculine. He just happened to be a mountaineer, a mountain guide, while his husband Keegan was a scrimshander. So for me, that's just kind of like what I would want to play. Only also because he's a canon gay character in D&D, which is very very rare, because he is written with a husband in mind. And so I'm like, I would want to play that. And Xander was considered for a few different roles, but I picked Garrett because I knew that of all the characters he could play, because he has a wide range, that's the character he would be proudest to play. And so I picked Garrett for him.
And I will say, I think it was really cool when we came up with which characters to pick. We, on purpose, we picked some of the characters to be queer. There was more than one queer character in there. There was like stuff going on because we were like, we want to have representation of queerness. Some of the side stories that you saw on the map, one of them, like I mentioned, was all about queerness. Like that was the point of the story. And I think that was really cool. I'm really happy that Greg Tito encouraged us to think about diversity. He brought together a diverse team to work on this. Then Ryan brought together a diverse cast. Ryan was in charge of the cast to this, and then we brought that into our stories, which I think is really important when it comes to an art form that so many people consume.
See, looks like we have another question here. Question for Cynthia. How do you feel from Valkyrie's D&D, the Valkyrie's D&D, how do you feel about the whole Discord dead set believing you were the cultist?
I had no idea until like way later. Like how dare? I honestly I had no idea until I got massive messages on Saturday morning from a lot of people being like, "Don't drink the meat, don't do this, we need to clear your name," blah blah blah. Well, side note, I'm not sure if I'm allowed to really. I could say this. So I got the call about like having been murdered the day before, so that we can set that sort of situation up. So essentially, when everybody was sending me all these messages, I was like, crap. So my strategy as a player was actually to lay low on Saturday so that it looked like the character missed all of the messages from everybody to say like please don't do that, or please like be careful, like the cultist is out to get you, sort of a deal. So I had no idea that people were dead set on me being the cultist, but B also had to lay low because the cultist had already killed me.
Speaking of dead, one thing that people are not aware of is that when someone is about to die, I message them because I have to let them know beforehand so that if any technical problems happen, that they're already queued to know that they're supposed to die or take that cue. But for me, I make sure I contact them if they need a phone call. I actually call them. to let them know that this is a thing. Because one thing that is interesting about reality RP is that I'm very aware that in LARPs, there's something called bleed. And we talk about this constantly on the show, where you are so emotionally tied up with your character that it carries over into your real life. So when a person is about to be killed, I call them and ask, or, message them saying, are you, you're going to die. Are you okay? Do we need to talk? In a couple of cases, I did need to talk. So I just want to make sure that even though this is entertainment and a performance, if you are playing a character for as long as you are, your emotions do get tied up in the investment of the character. So I just try to make sure that our performers are well taken care of. And it's actually something I brought up in D&D, that when this happens again, putting it out there, when this happens again, I am more than happy to talk to any performer that needs to be talked to if that situation comes up.
And bleed goes both ways, right? Like Krystina was talking about how it's difficult to decide who to kill because you're friends with everyone, right? Bleed can be bleed in as well as bleed out, where the prior things you have, as a human can come into your character.
I had something of an opposite experience that so Dave Harmon, who is also one of the designers, he's my best friend, lives down the road, and we were hanging out on the second day, and Dave was like, "Are you all right? Are you getting enough sleep?" Because I hadn't been working other jobs as well. Do you want me to see if I can kill you? And so you don't have to do tomorrow morning? I'm like, no, I'm invested. I want to do don't do that. Okay, all right, just want to check.
Okay, wait, real quick on that note, when Ryan did call me about the whole situation of dying, I was like, oh, this sucks. I was like, wait a minute, I don't have to show up to the live thing. He's like, no. I was like, oh, okay, I'm good. I'm like, I was real tired by the whole situation. I was like, all right, I'm fine. It's cool.
It's like the paradox of I really want to perform, but also I'm tired and don't want. Like whenever you have a gig you're really excited about, but then the day before the gig you're like, oh, you know what? I actually wish I didn't have it because I'm really tired. It always happens to me. Always.
I slept 18 hours the following day.
I think one thing that needs to be acknowledged about our performers for reality RP is that while there were actual play performers who are on for like 2 hours playing those characters in D&D live, the characters, or the performers rather, in reality RP are playing for far longer. Not just being on the live stream for like 20 minutes a day. They're playing on Instagram. They have to prep things for Instagram. They have to get ready. They have to respond to messages. This really is a LARP that you are seeing in front of you. And going forward, when we do something like this again, that's going to be consideration. It's do you have the stamina and the heart to be able to play a character for that long? Because it will take it out of you.
I mean, this is a completely new sort of experience for all the designers to make, and also for wizards to make, right? So we learned a lot of things from doing this, including this, like, how do you work with the performers that we're going to take forward when we do this again. So.
Oh wow! Right now, we're about that time, and so I wanted to thank all our performers and all of our guests here. This was awesome. You are all amazing. I would love to work with you in other capacities going forward. Let's talk to everybody and let's get your socials and plug all the things. We always encourage people to plug all the things. You may have mentioned it before, plug it again. Let's start off with Jordan. Where can you find you on social media?
Oh, yeah, you can find me on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Twitch, TikTok, all of them by the Jordan Rasko, which is just below me. It's my name minus the second half of my surname. And prideosaurs.com to get your prehistoric Pride pins, patches, and other merchandise. Rawr.
Sharang.
So I'm Sharang Biswas on Twitter, but I'm Astralingus on Itch if you're interested in indie games. Things. So like I said, we just launched a bundle called Needle in a Gay Stack, which includes 8 indie games, 3 of them are brand new, and they're really cool. They're by famous award-winning designers, including myself. But anyway, and 20% of that is going towards helping trans people with healthcare issues. We're sending to a specific trans charity. I also want to shout out I'm co-editing a book with Lucian Khan that's coming out next month. It's called Honey and Hot Wax, an anthology of erotic art games, where we commissioned 8 total designers to make, or is it 9 designers? The 8 games to make original LARPs and role-playing games that either discuss aspects of human sexuality or actively use sex acts as game mechanics. So check that out. Even if you're not going to play any of them, reading them is kind of really interesting if you want to expand what you think about role-playing games. So check them out.
Krystina.
Hi, Krystina Arielle here. Krystina Arielle. And I'm here to make a plea. Jordan, follow me back on the socials. Come be my friend. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter. I will twit stalk you all day long, all day, every day. You know how many hours I'm off Twitter? Like 3. Be my friend, girl. And I would like to promote Veiled Alliance, which will be back soon, which is cool because there's a poster of it on the side of my fridge. You can buy posters and stickers. That's pretty darn cool. Also, follow me on Twitter at Krystina Arielle. It's Krystina Arielle. And I'm trying to think of the things that I'm doing that I can talk about that aren't under NDA. Let's have, I don't know, follow me on Twitter and I'll tell you what I'm doing. I might even do a picture where I high five myself, just if you're nice to me. Oh, and Black Lives Matter.
Sin.
All right, y'all. You know me, Cynthia Marie. Twitter handle down there is at SinDancer. Instagram is Cynthia__Marie. Tomorrow night, if you're not aware, I will be on Vancouver by Night playing the legendary Lucita de Aragon. She is the La Sombra. We're actually going to be raising money for 2 charities, which I'm super excited about. I'm going to get this really wrong, but WAVW, W-A-V-A-W. It is a smaller known charity that offers it's the largest rapist crisis center. So we're going to be raising money for them, as well as the Trevor Project, which is going to be raising money for the LGBTQ community, also a crisis center. So please, 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 if you don't know anything about vampire, you should. But if you don't, come tune in. Matt Mercer is going to be on there. B. Dave Walter is going to be on there. Shane Easton, the Opera Geek. Hi, hun. I'm going to be on there. The cast of course, Vancouver by Night, the Coterie will be on there. There's just so many people on there. Please go see us tomorrow. Be in the chat. Donate money. Whatever. We're doing the thing. I'm really excited. Yes.
And I'm Ryan Omega. You could find me mostly on this Twitch channel, LifeActionRolePlay. Tomorrow, I will be on twitch.tv/GildingLight on the show Zyra, where I continue to play my Dwarven Brewmaster with a Renegade Chinchilla. And I also want to acknowledge our other designers who are not here, who are an important part of Reality RP, and that includes Dave Hartman, as mentioned by Jordan, Minket, and Elisa Teague. The 5 of us were very fortunate enough to meet up in Renton to plan this event. Then it went sideways because we couldn't have a physical place. And then we ended up creating Reality RP because we like cheesy reality TV and want it in our D&D.
And it was a very team design experience. It was really cool to work with a big team. We all looked at everyone's work and added things. So it was actually, we each had, obviously tasks to do, but we worked on, everyone helped and worked on all the processes. It was really, really cool.
So everyone, thank you so much for joining us here on Live Action Roleplay. We will be here in a couple of weeks. We are going to have some other things that are going to be coming up very soon. And we're going to raid our friends at D_20 TV, who are a newer channel, but they serve to teach people about role-playing. And so we're going to raid into them and tell them hi here from Live Action Roleplay. And if you haven't followed us or subscribed, please do so. And until next time, bye!